Hij mag ietsjes omhoog. Ik heb het gevoel dat ik hem nu iets te hard de kant op duw. 2 mm, meer dan. Hij hoeft niet, hij moet zeker niet hoger.
The Night Watch, well, the most famous painting in the Netherlands and one of the most renowned paintings in the whole world. And Rembrandt's absolute masterpiece. And since the beginning and the opening of the Rijksmuseum, this became the centerpiece of this building. But not many people know that originally the Night Watch was larger than it is today. Rembrandt originally made the Night Watch for the Kloveniersdoelen, which was, as it were, the clubhouse of the Civic Guards of Amsterdam. And it's interesting to see that these particular Civic Guards of Captain Frans Banning-Kok asked Rembrandt. So Rembrandt was one of the most renowned portrait painters in Amsterdam at that moment in time. And then in 1715, less than 50 years after Rembrandt's death, the painting was moved to the Amsterdam City Hall, today's Royal Palace at Dam Square. Then they found a perfect location in between these two doors in this particular gallery. A width of about, let's say, 1, 2, 3, 4 meters. But it was not big enough to give space to the painting. So the Night Watch had to be cut down, one of the most dramatic moments in the story and in the history of this famous painting. At the left-hand side, well, about a piece of this size was cut off, and also down and in the upper part and at the right-hand side. And we do not know where these 4 pieces of canvas are, so they disappeared. And instead of waiting for that moment that they, well, would reappear again, we decided to reconstruct the original appearance of Rembrandt's Night Watch. Operation Night Watch is the largest research and conservation project ever for the Night Watch. We're working here in a glass room in a Night Watch gallery for the whole world to see. Reconstructing the missing pieces is the final step in our research phase. After that, our researchers will start working on a conservation plan. Well, fortunately we know what the Night Watch must have looked like originally. This is a 17th century copy which was made before the pieces were cut off. We think it was commissioned by the captain, Frans Banning-Kok, and made by the Amsterdam painter Gerrit Lundens. The work is many times smaller than the original, but on the basis of this work we are able to reconstruct the missing pieces.
Our attempt here is to make a best guess without the hand of an artist into what the missing parts of the Night Watch looked like. We know that the Night Watch was cut down when it was moved from the Kloveniersdoelen, and we know that the Lundens is a fairly faithful copy, although it's at a much different scale. And so this is an attempt to use the latest technology to use the Lundens to help us visualize what the missing parts of the Night Watch looked like. There are several steps needed to make a faithful, best guess reproduction of what the missing parts of the Night Watch looked like. Here on the right you see the Lundens copy, and on the left is the Night Watch, and you'll immediately see that there are several things that are present in the Lundens but missing in the Night Watch. The most immediately apparent difference is that on the Night Watch, this figure here wearing the helmet has been cut off, whereas in the Londons you can see that we see his back, we see his arm back here, and in fact there are two missing figures, and if you look closely there's even a little boy down here looking over the wall. Another important difference is that in the London's copy you can see that the shadow of Benningkoch's hand that falls on the jacket of Rautenberg is echoed here in the point of the spear on the shadow down here on the ground. But in the Night Watch, the frame usually comes up to here, and so we miss the fact that this shadow is present down here. The first problem that the neural network helped us solve is to make semantic correspondences between the two. I can use a second neural network to help me make a plan, a so-called flow field, that would basically show how to stretch and compress and rotate the London's image so that it's perfectly aligned with the Night Watch image. So again, here's the Night Watch and the London's, and you can see all of the ways in which they really don't fit. But now if I use the second neural network, it turns the London's into this. So now here's the Night Watch and the London's, Night Watch, London's, and so you can see that finally things are fitting. But now I have yet another problem, and that is that, well, London's is a different painter than Rembrandt. So then comes a third neural network. And in this third neural network, I use this alignment between the London's and the Night Watch to basically send the neural network to art school. So what you're seeing here in these examples is a little tile from the London's, and then the same tile from the Night Watch. And so this is basically a quiz that we're giving the neural network. We say, all right, paint this like Rembrandt would paint it. And this is its best guess. So this is the key that we use to grade the test, and then this is the student's answer. And so by performing what's called training with the neural network, we can use hundreds of thousands of iterations of this process until the network gets better and better, so that it can take something painted in the style of London's and the scale of London's and the palette of London's and approximate what it might look like if Rembrandt did that. This then is the final answer. So in here, in the middle, you see the Night Watch, and then along the edges, you can see the extension from the neural reconstruction.
Hier kun je hem altijd goed mee afstellen. Dat hij goed weg laat. Ja, alsjeblieft.
And looking at the concept of the composition, all of a sudden it becomes clear how he almost as a dance director or a performer tries to grab our eyes and move the eye through the composition up to the central piece being the captain together with his lieutenant. So both movement and dynamics gain an enormous in quality, and that helps us as the Nightwatch team to get a better understanding of the original intentions, both of the artist and of this painting as a concept.